Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our podcast. Today we want to present you a special edition where we will interview our three most successful players from the German national. Third place, Joshua Schmidt.
I think it's fourth, but yeah.
And second place, Jonas Koschel.
Hi.
And the first place, the German champion, Tayfun Bayraktar.
Hi guys.
So, this weekend was very special for us. It was a big success for the team, and we want to talk about it a little bit. At first, guys, how did you prepare for this national?
Who's going first?
You start. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you had the most interesting trip to the US.
I guess, yeah. I was in the US for a whole week. The week before, because I played a regional on the one weekend and a YCS on the other weekend. I played pure Sky Striker in both events, the same deck that I played for the nationals as well, just a little bit different build. I went 9-1 at the LA regional, and I went 8-3 at the YCS, losing the last round. But I think it helped me quite a bit with the new format, because it was like before the regional, the week before, the set was released for the first time. So that was the first time we could actually play the cards and see how they work out in a tournament environment. And so I think that helped me quite a bit with understanding the deck for German nationals.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to gain the experience from the US.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing pure Sky Strikers for when the set was released. I picked the cards up and I started playing the pure version. And I was just testing at locals and playing locals quite a lot. And I was pretty confident with pure strikers, but a guy from my locals beat me up 7 times with Trickster Striker, and then I decided to try it out as well, and it worked for me. Yeah, and I wasn't sure how to exactly play the deck when I arrived in Mainz. And I just there are a lot of cards you have to play, like engine cards and stuff. But what hand traps you gonna play, I wasn't sure, and I just decided on Saturday morning, and it worked out. So yeah.
Yeah, that's also cool.
So I was testing Zephyra at first. Bradley Haywood also messaged me because he wanted to play Zephyra at YCS Jersey. So we theorized about that deck, but I quickly noticed that Zephyra has no chance to beat Trickster and Sky Striker, because the activation of Jamming Wave breaks your whole board. You have to negate it and stuff, and Glide Stage does the same with your counter traps. So I ditched that. Then I started testing Tricksters. And even before Eugen won the Austrian Nationals with Sky Striker Trickster, I had a similar list because I saw an OCG deck list. Of course, the OCG version of that deck is a lot weaker. But yeah, I first tested it out. I played a few games against Josh on Dueling Book. But for some reason, I stopped playing that deck. But after everyone started playing that deck again, and I got the finish list from Eugen and stuff, I picked it up again and tested it a lot. But on the last few days, I was really afraid of the mirror match, so I switched to pure Sky Striker again. But my technical play was simply horrendous. I was so bad with the deck. I had my opening hands, and I didn't know what to search and what to do. And yeah, on the last day, on Friday, I switched back to Sky Striker Trickster again, because I'm quite experienced with Trickster as a whole. I played it at 2 former YCSs. Yeah.
Well, that sounds also good. It proved well for the tournament.
What decks did you choose? Like, for me, I had like Pure Strikers, Goki, and Sky Striker Trickster as the options to play. The decks I really considered playing. And
Goki was an option for me. I just simply don't like these type of combo decks. I was like too lazy to learn all the combos, and I don't know. I don't like playing 10 minutes on my own at tournament environments and then lose to cards like Swim. Like, it feels really unsatisfying to play these decks. I know it's wrong and you shouldn't approach tournaments like that, but for me it wasn't an option.
I was considering Goki a lot because I think it has a very good Trickstar matchup. Which after how many people played it for YCS New Jersey, I was pretty sure that there was going to be a lot of Trickstar for German nationals, and I think like the pure matchup versus Trickstar I think it's pretty good if you know how to play it, but it's still like with Gookie it's a lot easier. But I just didn't feel like bringing Gookie to an event because Gookie, I still feel like Gookie is a little bit luck reliant and more like all in kind of deck, and I just wanted something that could get me to top cut pretty safely, which I think pure Sky Striker was the best for that. So I decided for that. Like, I never really wanted to play the Trickstar version because I think the mirror match is just a little worse. I don't like playing the Trickstar mirror. So.
Did you guys consider anything else, or?
Yeah, I considered pure Trickstar without the Sky Striker engine. I tested it quite a bit. Like, I played it at locals and stuff.
Yeah, but that's just terrible.
Yeah, it's like you take out 9 Sky Striker cards or 8 Sky Striker cards and put in stuff like Minecraft and Heavy Dust Storm, but at the end it's a worse version of the same deck. It loses to the same things and yeah, wins less.
Yeah, no, otherwise I don't really see any other choices that I could have played. I don't think there was anything super viable.
Okay.
Yeah, you also saw them in Top Cut, like half the decks were Trickster or just Sky Striker decks.
Of course, there's stuff like ABC or something, but that just wasn't anything for me. I think the pure deck is just great.
Yeah, what was surprising is that there were 3 Mag Knight decks in Top Cut.
Mag Knight's actually good against Trickstar. That's
yeah.
There was a lot of Altergeist as well.
Yeah,
At least,
yeah, but that's German nationals for you. They play trap decks.
Yeah.
A lot of floodgates, yeah.
That's also why I like the pure deck, because it's just so good against these rogue decks for German nationals. It just beats them so hard because it has such control over the game. You just don't lose to rogue with it.
So how were your matchups like?
I don't have everything from my head, but I didn't lose a single rogue matchup. I played a bunch of rogue decks. The deck I played the most against was definitely Trickstar. Let me check. I have it written down.
So in the time I played against 3 ABC decks in Swiss and 3 pure Sky Striker. I lost against 2 of them. And then I played 1 Altergeist and the rest was Tricksters.
Okay, I found it. I played against 7 Trickstar Brandish, 2 pure Trickstar, then 2 pure, like a mirror match, pure Brandish, 1 Altergeist, 1 Draco, 1 Draco Invoked, 1 Lightsworn, and 1 Gookie. And I only lost to 1 Trickstar and 2 Trickstar Brandish.
I played against 1 hero, 1 Spiral, 1 ABC, 4 Altergeist, 4 pure Striker, and 8 mirror matches with Trickster Brandish. And I lost to the Spiral guy, the pure Striker, and 2 Trickster Brandish.
So, were you afraid of rogue decks? I was afraid of the rogue decks because Trickster isn't known for beating rogue decks.
I was not afraid of rogue decks because like pure just it's just
The Sky Striker engine helps a lot, like getting over big stuff with the links and the tokens.
Yeah, I was really happy I main deck 3 Called by the Grave because it's easy to always win the game.
Yeah.
They didn't even Sunbuster. It would mean Game on Buster 2 when they take out, but I always banished like the pieces in Grave and didn't get the effects through and never even got the chance to Sunbuster.
Yeah, I didn't. I beat every single rogue deck 2-0 that I played.
I only lost to Spiral due to the timeout. So
So yeah, we just talked about the end of match procedure. How was it like for you?
I didn't have much of a problem with it, honestly. But I can see it happening. I had more trouble with it in New Jersey, but now that I knew that it was there, it was a little easier to handle. I was just telling my opponents very early on that they need to hurry up, and they usually did, so it was okay. I only entered time, I think, like 3 times over the whole weekend. One time it was like game 1 took a very long time against Lightsworn, and then in game 2 he went first, and there was like 3 minutes left, and he started with Soul Charge. That was just, it was literally, I didn't even have to stall. He played his turn. He made like a long combo, and I was like 20 seconds left when he let me play. So I activated like a bunch of spells just to the normal search stuff, and then it was just time, and he just lost because he paid with Soul Charge. Then there was like one more where it really didn't matter. I was like ahead on life, but I would have also won the game in the next couple turns. And then in the feature match in top 16, I believe, that was actually the most stupid one, where we entered time against Trickstar. We entered time when we were both at 2,900, which is like super random, because like the thing is, like, I was super winning that game by card advantage and everything. His only out was basically timeout, so it was like 10 seconds left or 20 seconds, and he just went for a random way to do damage with like Lilybell and stuff, and he ended up doing exactly enough damage to make life points even. And then it was my turn. I took 400 for Licorice, and then we were even. And then time was called, and then they told me, or like the procedure is, you play until the end of the turn, and then whoever has more life wins. So all I had to do was attack his Candina, and then I won. That was very scary, because if he could have done like 100 more damage, I would have just lost.
I went to time like 4 times. 2 times I actually lost because of the end of match procedure.
Would you have won otherwise, though?
Huh?
Would you have won otherwise?
With your crew?
I lost to Spirals. I think I would have lost the game to versus Spiral anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure though. But I lost to, and I messed up, by the way. I didn't lose. I just lost once to Trickster Brandish, and I lost to Altergeist 1 round.
Mm.
And I lost in time because I flipped Scapegoats, but I couldn't put enough pressure on board, and I lost to the time out. And I was winning in card advantage. I had like 3 cards in hand, and my opponent had like 2 face-up cards, like anti-spell and something else, but I couldn't do enough damage to win. So this time I lost to the timeout, and the other 2 times I just went to time, but I was already in battle phase and just attacked for game, so it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I was timeout only twice. Once against ABC, but I would have won that game anyway, just speeded it up. Yeah, he was low on life points, and the game ended right there. And in top 64 against Altergeist, didn't have any cards. Like, he had 1 multi-faker in hand that I knew of, and I dealt like 4k damage in that battle phase, and then it ended. So it really didn't matter, but I'm a really fast player usually, and all just like half of my matches were over after 20 minutes, so I had a lot of time off and stuff. The one thing that changed for me was I did get slow warnings for some reason. And yeah, so I got an early slow play warning in round 2 already, because I think the way I play, I search really fast. Like if I activate terraforming, I instantly go to light stage and cantina and stuff. And then I have a long pause and think about my next play. And I think that's really suspicious for the judges, because they only see how you do nothing and think for 20 seconds, but they don't see that you played faster before you did that slow phase. And they see it from see it and give you slow play warnings randomly before judging the situation. And so yeah, I had a slow play warning in round 2, and then against Josh I got another one and got a game loss. So after round 8 I was like really afraid of slow play warnings, because the next slow play warning would mean a match loss. But yeah, luckily I didn't get any in top cut.
I think it changed like the way I played the new end of match procedure, because I like after 10 minutes or after game 1 was finished, I just checked the time, and I checked the timer and think about how much time I got left. And yeah, like Josh said, sometimes I talked to my opponent and said, "Go on, please, and play a little bit faster," even when we're not in time, or like even when like the clock is at 20 minutes.
So
I always tracked the time on my score pad, on my life point pad, so I didn't have to turn around and look at the watch. I just looked at my watch at my wrist.
Nice.
And I think that's also a good way to solve that problem, because your opponent doesn't see that you turn around and look for the time. You can just look at your wrist, and
so
I think people should start.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So could you observe that the players get more aggressive because of the timeout procedure? Maybe?
You mean aggressive in playing or in the way that they act?
In the way they act, especially.
I didn't experience it, but I can imagine it happening. I think some people, when you really lose in time, it can really be stupid. Like when you have a game on board and you want to go from main phase to battle phase, and time is called, there could be some very stupid discussions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And some people like show their true selves and try to shark you or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not a big fan of it, but I think it's not quite as bad as it looks. I would still prefer if they would change it again, but if not, then I think we can get used to it. But like,
the old timeout wasn't that great either. So
yeah, it was not perfect, but it was better than this. But yeah.
I was really happy that the event was over at 9 p.m.
That's Saturday. True. They actually did save a lot of time. We still had like 20-30 minutes overtime, but normally it can go up to.
Yeah, but that's because of deck checks and stuff. They have to give
deck
overtime.
Checks, appeals and judge calls.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, normally we had like minutes, sometimes even more than an hour, and this time it was like we saved like 20 minutes every round usually.
Yeah.
I remember YCS Bochum or Rimini this season, and Saturday went on until 11 p.m. or stuff.
Yeah.
And this time around it was 2 hours earlier.
I heard that they have a very good system in the OCG. They have 40 minutes, and then I think they have extra turns. But the extra turns can only last 10 minutes. If they go longer than 10 minutes, then it becomes like our new system. After 10 minutes of overturns, it's immediately done.
I think the judges discussed putting the round time to 50 minutes.
Yeah.
My locals actually is playing with 50 minutes right now, and yeah, I think it's a little bit better, but
I think the OCG one sounds really fair.
I mean, we can't do anything, right?
Yeah, it's just whatever. We have to accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
If it stays like this, we have to get used to it.
Yeah. It's just something new, and you're not used to it, and
yeah.
So, how was it for you before you entered the event on the Friday? What did you do there?
We were there with the entire team. We had the team apartment together, which was pretty cool. We all got there around I got there around 2 p.m. Some of us were already there. We met up. The location only opened at 5, so we met up at the cafe before and just played a little bit. I was still between Pure Sky Striker and Gookie, so I just tried both of them out a little bit. Tayfun was between the Pure Sky Striker and the Trickstar Sky Striker and stuff like that, so we just did that. Then we went to the location, hang out a little bit. I didn't register on Friday. I usually
nobody did.
Yeah.
So and there were like no tables to test, so we were there for 1 hour.
Yeah, you couldn't actually go into the venue. There was only registration, so we left relatively early again.
Okay.
And we went to get food with the whole team, which was also pretty nice. Almost everyone was there, and
except Jonas.
Yeah, I arrived really late. I was stuck in traffic for like 2.5 hours. So yeah.
That's not so cool.
And thanks to Erkin, who paid for the whole food.
Yeah, that was a lot of food.
By the way, did you ever pre-register for an event? Because I just remember I did it once.
I did it once as well.
I usually do, because I usually play bad decks and then I'm settled on them.
I did it at YCS London, the Spiral one.
Yeah, but you got the mats and that's...
Yeah, okay. Yeah, getting the mats is like...
Yeah. But yeah, normally I never do. But it was so nice in London. You can sleep so much longer. I didn't even know.
Yeah. And the mat is really pricey, I think.
It's great.
Maybe considering for Euros too.
I mean, it's just ideally you would want to be ready on Friday anyways, but sometimes it just doesn't work out like that. So
yeah.
You just want to make sure you have all the time you can get. But yeah.
I usually just think about my deck list Friday night, and Saturday morning I just write it down and put last minute stuff in.
Yeah, last minute stuff is really important because sometimes you walk into the venue and people come up with new tech ideas and new cards like Shuffle Reborn and stuff you don't know about, and then you have to get these shitty comments nobody has with them and put them in your deck.
Really stressful.
Yeah.
So, day 1 was really successful for our team. Most or everyone, I think most of us went to day 2.
I think Nico didn't, Erkin didn't.
Yeah, I think everybody who went into day 2 also topped. And one new one. We have to talk about Nico Zadai.
Yeah.
So suddenly from Saturday to Sunday morning, we got a new member. Nobody knew where he came from, but he had the jersey and the mat. So I guess he is an E-Man now.
Yeah. And he topped, so it was a good decision, right?
Yeah, he managed to get into top 16.
So yeah, we had 7 in top 64 in day 2, which was pretty nice. How do you call it, Kevin?
The E-ManGames takeover. It's pretty crazy. The 7
pretty good,
members in the top 60.
Oh yeah, Jam was day 2, but he didn't manage to get in the top cut. I think he was
he was in a bubble, right?
3-1. Yeah, X3-1.
Yeah.
I kind of was scared I have to play against someone I know or someone on the team, and I actually had to.
All right, in top 64 we had 2 team mirror matches, right?
Yeah.
Those were also the only matches where an E-Man lost, right?
Yeah.
No, Nico was.
Yeah, Nico lost.
He lost in top 16 against
Yeah,
Magneto.
I meant in top 64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of us got through except the people who played against each other.
Yeah.
That's also pretty crazy. I was really impressed when I heard that almost everyone topped. That was pretty nice.
So yeah, we had 7 in top 64, then we had 5 in top 32, right? Because Patrick and Christian lost in top 64.
Yeah, Emil did too.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then top 32, I think Simon lost.
Yeah.
And top 16, Nico lost. And then it was just the 3 of us left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we went all the way to top 4.
What
and finally, just before we did the top 8 player profiles, Jonas got his jersey. He was walking around with his plain white tee all day, and then he got his jersey for the pics.
What were your feelings and your thoughts when you saw that 3 of us, all 3 of you, were in the top 4?
The first thing I thought was like, I hope the random with Mech Knight doesn't win, and it's like,
I mean, like,
that would have been really embarrassing.
It's the tradition for like German nationals. The random deck always wins.
Also
Usually.
the random player. So.
Yeah.
That's the Tayfun one.
Yeah, I managed it. I got with him.
He broke the curse.
Yeah, when we arrived to top 4, like, I was pretty...
How was your match? I didn't hear anything about your match except that Josh break.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, we played last round in Swiss as well, and Josh beat me 2-0. Like, game 1 was pretty easy, I think, for him. And game 2 I bricked, and yeah, that happened in top 4.
Yeah, I opened like game 1. My opening hand was Diabolos, Afterburner, Hercules Base, Mind Crush, and some multi-roll.
Multi-roll, I think.
Yeah, so like I only thing I could do was set Mind Crush pass, and so I Mind Crushed something, and I saw his hand, and I knew I was dead. So it was and then game 2, I just couldn't do much either. My hand was not that great, and like he didn't have Lockbird when I went first, but then turn 2 he drew it for his turn.
Yeah. And
then it destroyed me on turn 2 because I didn't even expect it anymore. It was like that was really bad, and then I just couldn't play under Lockbird. So yeah, and I think it was scapegoats after the Lockbird too. I don't know.
Yeah, my game 2, my starting hand was nuts. Like, the only sad thing, I drew Lockbird for turn, but
very sad.
Yeah.
But so it was just quick 2-0. It didn't even take like 20 minutes. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, happens.
Yeah, my top 4 featured match was like amazing. I think I
wanted the Mech Knight. Why couldn't I have the Mech Knight?
I think it's the best feature match I ever had because game 1 I did the first Firewall OTK in the whole stream. They didn't ever feature it before, so I got to show off in front of the camera with the and stuff. And game 2 I sided in Twin Twister because I knew Magnates always set their spells to sum their monsters in that column. So I got to take away 2 cards with Twin Twister, and after that he didn't have anything left.
But why do they set 2 first?
Yeah, he said 1, some 1 Magnite, that another 1, some that Magnite.
But I mean, he can just set them to play around reincarnation, I guess.
Yeah, but then it's also fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's talk about the finals.
But for top 4, I was pretty confident E-ManGames is gonna take the win.
Yeah, I was pretty sure about that too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Mech Knight, so.
But like the national in Austria was won by
Australia,
CCG.
yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I mean
Austria.
Austria. And I think Team Trent won a national as well, and now it was
goes
our
to
turn.
start a win in Spain nationals, and we got the European nationals in Germany.
So we just won the one that was bigger than all of theirs together. Easy.
Yeah, what were your thoughts about the finals? I was pretty stunned when I just looked at the stream and saw on the left side E-ManGames, on the right side E-ManGames, and I just thought, wow, this is so crazy. What did you
think? I didn't care that much. The Switch is all fine. Winning the Switch instead of, it's just for the title, really. It's not about the prizes.
The prize for first and second is like almost the same.
I think game 1 was really like
one-sided.
Really one-sided, because he activates Desires, that's a +1. I activate Lockbird, that's a -1. And the game was already over after that because his hand was insane.
Yeah.
And that's a mirror match for you. Yeah, game 2, I don't want to talk about it, I think. It's better when you talk about it.
It was over.
Vietnam flashback.
It was over, and it was not.
Yeah, it was over. Like, Mind Crush, and I knew he had the Candina, and I was like really confident. Yeah, he only has 2 cards left in hand. And I saw the rest of his hand, and it was Terraforming and
Engage. Yeah.
And my field was Topologic with Reincarnation and Grave. And by now we know that he could have gone for Terraforming first and then engage for Widow Anchor and win.
And draw a card
Yeah. But instead he searched the Hornet Bit, he summoned the token. I used logic on it, and he doesn't have a play left. He like stalls for 2 turns with Trickster cards, but that doesn't do anything.
It was just like we were watching it, and when you revealed the hand with Minecraft, okay, this is just over. But then suddenly it was not. So
I had like in mind, what if he has like drool or something, but it wouldn't actually matter. If Tayfun had drool, I would just lose. But
oh yeah, and if you watched the stream, you maybe saw that I had a random Twin Twister in my hand. And my idea behind Twin Twister was like, I think Jonas knew that I wasn't siding Heavy Dust Storms.
Yeah.
So I was hoping for him to set his Spell and Trap cards to play around Reincarnation, and then he runs into Twin Twister instead of Heavy Dust Storm. But I didn't draw it in my opening hand, and after that it was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, game 3, I think the most important play in game 3 was that in the end phase I used Called by the Grave on his Ash Boss, and
that was really
my turn. He couldn't use.
He had another one.
Yeah, he had another one and couldn't activate that.
Yeah, I was thinking I had to pitch 1 card for.
But I think it didn't matter which card you shuffled away with Phoenix, because the other set was Terraforming. You would use Ash on that anyway, and the set you did shuffle away was
but I discarded Candina, so I was like, do I want to have a follow-up for next turn or
an Ash?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, you can't know that there's a combo.
Yeah. Most
it
of
was
the time,
cool.
Ash is just
watching it was pretty cool. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, it was really exciting.
Yeah, but the mood on the table wasn't that intense, really, because we were joking around. The table judges were joking with us because we heard every time you clapped, and you clapped on things like flipping scapegoat, and it was like really funny for us.
Yeah.
Scapegoat doesn't even feel.
I didn't clap for scapegoats. I don't clap for scapegoats.
The
Good guy,
most
Josh.
skillful plays, like flipping scapegoats, flipping reincarnation, and yeah.
In the spectator seats, there were 2 fan bases for Tayfun and for Jonas.
Yeah. The venue was not that
Almost
filled
empty.
anymore.
Yeah, there was
Almost
no one
empty.
there anymore. Yeah, that's a little sad.
And as Tayfun said, was like getting second is almost as good as getting first. And this time I got my prize card, unlike London. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, that's nice. So, what are your thoughts and how do you feel about it now after the event is over?
Looking back at it, like we posted also that stuff on our social media channels. Like the growth is insane. We are so satisfied with how our team went. Like we only started 3 months ago or so, and 3 months later we are the most successful team in Germany, maybe even in Europe. And yeah, that's insane.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like the first really big tournament for us together.
The team atmosphere was also really nice. That's something I.
Yeah, people always thought like we were like just a crowd of bot players that went for the money. But nobody believes us that we are actually friends and we knew each other before we went into E-Man.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And it like proved we are not. We didn't win any event before, so it like proved that we're not just random guys. And I mean, Josh isn't a random guy, of course, but like for everyone else.
Yeah, especially many people said that, well, this is the team with Joshua Schmidt now, and he's the one who's good, and the others are not so important also. But this, I think it changed something for us, right?
Yeah, other people got to show their name.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So, the German national is over, and the next tournament you three will participate in is the European Championship. What are your goals for Euros?
I will quote Josh and say just win. Yeah, I think we already have 2 players at Worlds. I think Josh is safe to go to Worlds, and Darren is almost safe. Like he has top 1 of 2 events. He has the top UK Nationals or Euros to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty safe.
He's pretty safe. So
I mean,
it would be nice if we got a third player, a third E-Man into Worlds, or maybe even an E-Man final at Euros. But
yeah,
that would be actually insane.
Maybe we can meet again in the finals, Tayfun.
Yeah,
that would be so nice.
I don't care who wins. Like finals.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
For me, it's kind of like last year, because last year for Euros I was also qualified for Worlds already with the points, and last year I didn't care so much. I still went X1 on day 1, and then I still really wanted to top, and I was really sad when I lost 2 rounds on day 2. So I'll still try this year.
Yeah, try with BA.
Play
BA.
So, huh?
You can try with BA.
No. I won't. Like maybe I'll play something cool, but I don't know yet. I really like still trying, just because it's still a prestigious event. So
yeah.
But still, there's not nearly as much pressure on me as on the other people that still have that don't have the qualification for Worlds. So.
Yeah, that's right. What about you, Jonas?
I mean, like getting to the final is like the goal, but I don't know. I I guess I'm gonna try, but
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
have
want that much pressure on me. So
like I finally managed to get my first national stop, but I don't have a Euro stop yet, and yeah, that's my goal for.
That's always where you have to start. You can't just say, yeah, I just want to win Euros. You want to do as much as you can, as good as you can. So
yeah, my goal is to get a Euro stop.
yeah.
No, that would be nice, for sure.
yeah, same.
And as a last question from my side, what do you think will be good at Euros? Which decks? Which deck choices?
I still don't know. Is Battle of Legends completely confirmed now?
No,
Yeah.
there are like a lot
No,
of cards missing.
there's no spoiler for the set,
Yeah.
but
We just know some cards, but like
Because I don't know what's coming. Well, is there anything that is?
I think we know all the new cards. We don't know, but we don't know what's reprinted.
The one,
okay.
the new topologic link monster could be
Oh, that one
impactful.
is confirmed?
Yeah, that one that steals hand cards.
Okay, but no needle fiber or anything, right?
No.
I think then we're gonna face pretty much the same format.
And we don't have Link Kuriboh as well, by the way.
Yeah, we don't have Link Kuriboh, but like still, I think there's still much you can do in this format. I think Trickstar is a strong deck, and it's a little bit. I think it's just. I don't think it's a good deck for a format to exist. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think Trickstar is like. It's good, but I don't like it for a format. But I think
I think the version of Trickstar was okay to play against, but this version is just really too fast, and it's like
I think it's just like
doesn't even give you a turn; it kills you immediately.
If they open Engage, or like if they open a Sky Striker card and a Trickstar engine card, the deck is just so overpowered. But if they don't, it's just really weak. Which is
if I only open one of them.
Like playing against it or playing with it just always feels like a little bit of a gamble, which is something I don't like. But I think it's also solvable. Like I think there's just the Trickstar being so good at the moment is only because people are not playing decks that are super strong against it. Like the average pure Sky Striker player will just lose to Trickstar normally.
I think your deck list at Nationals already tried to do that to beat Trickstar.
My deck list was really good against Trickstar. Yeah. The standard deck list was not. This is also why the Trickstar matchup is also really hard to play. I think most people are just doing that wrong most of the time. It's just all of that is just stuff that contributes to Trickstar's success. So I think Trickstar is still going to be a big deck coming into Euros, but I think there's ways to beat it that people are going to explore until Euros.
Yeah, I think most people will stick to Trickstars, but try to build it in a way that beats the mirror match. Like we did this weekend, we played Cold Battle Grave in the main. Maybe other people will try out Mind Crush in the main.
A lot of people play Shadowrun.
A lot of people play Shadowrun, but actually it's the worst one of these, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's only good going first.
Yeah, it's like Shadowrun is only good going second against pure Striker.
When you're going second against Trickstars, it's like you get burned for every card you add.
You just die. They need like 3 surges to kill you.
Yeah. Lycoris, so much damage.
Yeah,
well,
I think there's so much stuff like that.
Trickstar, so.
But I think playing the deck was felt great because like I only 2 games I couldn't play because I didn't open either a Trickster card or a Sky Striker card.
Really? I played like 7 games without seeing any Trickster cards. I played with Scapegoat, Sky Striker, and Lycoris without Candina.
The Trickster card?
Yeah, I didn't draw Candina. I draw like bad Trickster cards. Lycoris.
But
you can only play 9 copies of it, so it's like there's not. Of course, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and even if you're like not starting with engine cards, you get so many powerful cards in your deck like Scapegoats, Desires, Hand Traps, so you can just play on. And sometimes when I played pure Striker, I had the feeling I couldn't do much, and and I didn't have the same feeling like for this deck. But as Josh said, the mirror matches, like winning the dice roll is a huge boost and helps a lot. And the mirror match is like it's not like a intense mirror match where always the better player wins. So.
Yeah, my goal for Euros is also to learn pure Sky Striker so I can play that deck. I really don't want to play Tricks again.
For Battle of Legends, from what I've seen so far, I don't think there is so much that will completely change the metagame. Like the topologic is like, it's kind of good in Gookie, but like at the point where it becomes good, you already pretty much win the game with the old Gookie version. Anyways, it doesn't really change.
If two card combo resource, you win anyway, and then it doesn't matter if you win by hand looping them or win by doing an unbreakable board.
So it's kind of the same thing. So I think it's the same format, but there's still room for innovation because the format is only like 2 weeks old. Remember that?
Yeah.
It's only like there was a weekend of the regional, then there was YCS New Jersey, and now there was the German national weekend, and there was a bunch of other nationals. So the format is really just 2 or 3 weeks old. So there's still a lot of stuff you can explore.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, and like Trickster as the most represented deck has like some well-known weaknesses, and
I mean, you already see people in Italy playing the weird Sky Scourge thing.
Yeah.
And that's when the mirror match starts to become really stupid. I don't want to play a mirror match. I want to just summon that turn one.
Yeah, it sounds pretty scary.
It's like when you play pure striker and your opponent just slams spell cancel on board. And feels horrible to lose like that.
It's always horrible to lose to floodgates.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I don't know if there's an out for the spell cancel in your deck. I guess Diablos is an out, but
you have to draw very well though. You have to open the one Diablos with Ray.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much for your experiences from the last weekend. We want to shout outs to the team, E-ManGames. Everyone did a really good performance over this weekend. Also special thanks to Erkin, who made this whole thing possible, right? He founded the team and everyone is there because of him.
Yeah.
Right. Check us out on Cardmarket and Facebook also. And just to let you know, E-Man buys and sells all cards.
Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, because if you want to see our deck list, they are first posted on Instagram. That's the first place you see them.
And by the way, there are still deck lists coming from the other guys.
From the very innovative Trickstar Sky Striker.
And I think a pure strike.
Yeah, there's still a pure build coming.
Yeah, Christian's deck.
Yeah.
Christian, Emil, Stefan, Thomas.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you and have a good evening, or whenever you watch the video, a good daytime.
Bye.
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 Bye.